How did this 800-page book debut as a #1 new release on Amazon? Let's find out.
Making it happen, and we so passionate. With dental training, growing your dental practices every single day. Gotta keep rising, be a better version of you. We call it Kaizen. Yeah, practice biopsy. Going up, no stopping. Yeah, practice biopsy. Let's go.
Hey guys, so this is D'Angelo from Practice Biopsy, business support and self-improvement for dentists, and this video is really for anybody. You don't even have to be a dentist for this to learn something from this video, but this is for anyone who has self-published a book or wants to write a book, and you want it to do well. You want this book that you've been working on, these ideas that you have, to actually reach people, and you want people to benefit from the work that you're doing. Even if you haven't written a book, you're just thinking about it, and you're saying, well, if I did write something, how would I make sure that it got into people's hands and it actually did well? So this video is going to be about how this 800-page book that I wrote debuted as a #1 new release on Amazon. This book is called You Don't Know What You Don't Know, 7 Lessons for a Life in Dentistry, and the target audience is obviously dentists, and it talks about the mystery of the things that you don't know. Okay, a very common saying when I was in school was, you don't know what you don't know. And I always wondered why no one would just tell me what that thing was. So in a way, that's what I'm doing with this video, okay? So let's see how we got this book to debut. And first off, thank you. If you are someone who bought this book, thank you so much for your support. If you're not someone who bought this book, but you're someone who's been involved in the Practice Biopsy community, I also say thank you for you, just for bringing awareness and support and making it worth all the energy I put into giving back to the dentistry community, okay? So this is just a screenshot from Amazon. So when this book came out in June of 2025, it debuted as the #1 new release under the niche of medical school guides, okay? So it wasn't #1 in all of Amazon, but it was #1 in several segments, okay? So in several segments on Amazon, it debuted as #1. The medical school guides was one of them, okay? So we debuted #1 there. We debuted #1 on graduate school guides. So we were ahead of the GRE prep book, Princeton Review, AP World History. Princeton is always like at the top of these, and we debuted ahead of all the Princeton books on the bestsellers new release list. Also, we were also #1 on the Amazon Hot New Releases list. So we were #1 on medical school books, graduate school guides, and we were #1 on the Hot New Releases. Okay, so let's go back here. So how do we do that? Okay, so there were 3 big keys working against this book, and we're going to talk about why those things working against this book were really assets when we were able to leverage them properly. Okay, so #1, it was self-published. There was no big publisher behind this book. There was no marketing dollars. There was no one putting it in stores and running ads. There was no publisher. It was self-published on Amazon, KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay. There was also a free version available. So if you wanted this book, you could just download a digital copy for free, and the digital copies did not count towards the sales. So if I had 100 people get a digital copy, that counted 0 to my Amazon sales. I made a digital copy for free available on my e-learning platform that I do have, okay? So that was working against us because anyone who wanted the book, they could just get it for free, okay? So they had to have an extra, be extra motivated to actually buy it. Thirdly, there was no paid marketing. I didn't run any ads, no Google ads, no Facebook ads, nothing on Instagram, 0 ads. This was all through some unpaid marketing channels, which we'll get into in this video, okay? So self-published, all right? So we're going to talk about those things that were negatives to really assets to it. So why is it an asset to be self-published? Traditional publishers are slow, expensive, and they don't know your audience the way that you do. So I know the dentistry audience really well. If you're writing a carpentry book, you might know the carpentry audience really well. If you're writing a book about video game history, you probably know that audience way better than like a random book publisher. So you can really write in a way that speaks to your audience and tell them really what they want to know because you are in that community. You're writing what you know, and the publisher doesn't always know as well as someone who's immersed in the community all the time of the niche that you're writing for. So have a super niched appeal. I had a very niche appeal of dentists. It's like a small group of professional individuals, okay? And this book is niched even further than that because it's not just like all about teeth. I pretty much don't talk about teeth at all in this book, okay? This is an 800-page book filled with global history lesson anecdotes, catered toward dentists, and associated with some very niche influencers in the dentistry world. So this is a pretty specific book. Like, you really have to be into this stuff to buy it. But if you are really into this stuff, you do buy it, and that's why it performed well, okay? The free version's available. So again, a 100% totally free version of this book was available at launch, and it even came with bonuses. Like, there were bonus videos you could watch if you got the free version, okay? But people who got this book, they bought this book out of passion and for being true fans of my work, okay? So they really wanted to support this project doing well, and they did, okay? At 800 pages, this thing is thick and heavy, and it's almost like a statement piece to own it. Like, if you put it on your bookshelf or you have it on your coffee table and someone sees it, it makes a statement just to see this huge tome of a book. So just having it really have some passion behind it. You know, a lot of books like this, self-published books, they're little 120-page pamphlets. This is an 800-page book that really shows the reader that, wow, if someone wrote almost 1,000 pages on this topic, they really have to care about this, and there's something there. I want a piece of that, okay? This is just a snapshot of some of the free content that comes with the digital version. Now, a lot of people did buy the book and then also get the digital version so they could get the free bonuses. So the free bonuses for me, I included mentor interviews. So when I wrote this book, I interviewed about 15 to 20 of my mentors, and I recorded those interviews and used them for quotes and anecdotes and stories and lessons and things that I incorporated into the book. So I recorded all those interviews, and anyone who bought the book or didn't buy the book can just log into my education portal. You can make an account there, download it, totally free access, okay? That's just a snapshot of one of my mentor interviews, okay? Authenticity rules, all right? So we were really, really niched down, okay? I have a 5,000 member Facebook group that I manage. All 5,000 people are dentists in that group, and that's who I talk to on a daily basis. I'm communicating with that group. I have just a really small following on YouTube. At the time I'm posting this, I've only got about 300, 350 followers on YouTube. Definitely way smaller than the 5,000 Facebook group, again, which is really targeted. I mean, for Facebook groups, there's ones with like hundreds of thousands of people. I just got 5,000, but they're all dentists, and that's who I'm talking to. Even my YouTube channel, like, there's not that many dentists around. So 300, percentage-wise, is a pretty decent percentage of all the dentists that are, you know, even in the country, okay? Email list. I've got an email list of 1,500 dentists, okay? So whenever I send out an email, it goes to 1,500 dentists. We have between a 50 and 60% open rate, which is really good compared to the industry standards. So when I send out an email, people read it. So when we put this book out, we sent out an email, people saw it, and said, I want to see what Dr. Webster is going to say, all right? No paid marketing, all right? This was all organic, word of mouth. So these are some of my buddies, some of my book fans, if we call them that, but they're really just friends, peers, dentists, colleagues in the community that bought my book. They took pictures, they posted it, because it felt cool. Like, they've known me for a long time. Yeah, I'm like a micro influencer or something, you know, dentist on the computer. And a lot of these dentists, you know, I've met in person, a lot of them I haven't. But when I put out a book, they can say, hey, I've known this guy on the computer for years, and I get to buy a book and, like, make that cool connection. So I was really honored and thought it was the coolest thing ever. And people who bought my book took a picture and posted it. And that just kind of gave more word of mouth, which is why paid marketing wasn't necessary for our book to perform well. Okay? So that's really all we did. I put a lot of work into this book. It took a couple years. No paid marketing, self-published, and hopefully, if you have been motivated to write your own book and you aren't sure if it could sell, if you write a book that is really catered towards your specific small audience that you know better than anybody, there will be an audience for that. And you can always reach out to me, all right? If you're a dentist, the best way to reach out to me is to join the Facebook group, Practice Biopsy. If you're not a dentist and you just want to talk about, like, the process and maybe get some advice for your own situation, you can send an email to practicebiopsy@gmail.com, and I'll help you if I can. All right, if you are a dentist, please invite other dentist friends to follow the YouTube channel. Click subscribe, click like. Have a great day.